All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is October 10th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody who has a subscription. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Make sure I don't have any more orders. Yeah. All right. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for liking the content, following the content, subscribing to the content. Special shout out to John Jordan, Bob Jordan, Kathy, Sarah Roasted for sharing the content. All right. Let's take a look. How I made $45K with an $82K account. And let's take a peek at it today. Okay. Let's take a look at what happened. Okay. We got ourselves a triple top. All right, over here on 2-hour chart. Draw that out for us. And trash that out. Get the circles. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, triple top. Okay, looks like they didn't want to stick around. Triple top. And then they bailed on us right there. Okay. If you followed me on social media or here in the room, I said I'm prepping for a correction or a dip during the shutdown. Okay. So I said it here in the room. I'm prepping for a dip. All right. So here we had now. Was it due to the shutdown? I don't know. Was it due to Xi Jinping and the tariff wars going on between President Trump and Xi Jinping? I don't know. All right. All I know is whatever happened at noon or right here at this hour, which was, right at noon. All right. Market fell apart on it. Okay. I don't know. Was it the triple top? I don't know. We'll see. So there's SPY on the 2-hour. 2 hours definitely in a downtrend. Okay, 10-minute chart. 10-minute chart definitely in a downtrend. I think we head down to 650. I think we spiked the 50-period SMA. All right, I think we maybe even put a rubber band candle in on it. All right, I think then maybe we bounce back. And maybe we can find our way back to VWAP or whatever right there. We'll see what happens. All right, so here's price coming down. This is the 917 rate cut rally. All right, that's the anchored VWAP for the rate cut rally. Okay, I got 5% pullback would take us down to 635. I don't know if that's how far we're going. But I would expect a visit to the big fat hole round number 650. I'd expect a spike of that. And probably maybe a bounce, maybe a $5 bounce off of 650. Then see where we shake out from there. All right, right now we have no, I'm going to say it right now, we have no lower highs. Not yet. We definitely made a lower low. Okay, you got 3 lows here, 4 lows. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely made a lower low. 5, 6, 7. Okay, definitely made lower lows. No lower high yet, so I'm looking for that lower high so I can pick up some puts on that lower high and hopefully do the H pattern rollover down to maybe 635 area for a 5% pullback. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's what that's what I'm looking for, right there. All right, so there's SPY 10-minute in a downtrend, 2-hour in a downtrend, daily chart. All right, I'm gonna just tell you right now, this one candle on the daily chart took out 30 trading days worth of gains. Okay, $30 worth of gains on one candle right there. All right, so there's SPY on the daily chart. Big red candle down. There's a spike there. We made a lower low, so we're in a downtrend now on SPY daily because we got a low right here and we made a lower low. Let's take a look at the 2-day chart and see what the BZO says. All right, I just want to see what the BZO says on the 2-day chart. And that's not the one I'm looking for. No. Okay, on the 2-day chart right here. Okay, so this will be, let's see what day that is. That's 10. What was this day? That was 8. Okay, so this is 10. So here's our cut. So we're probably going to get one of these because last time we failed to meet the 9 EMA. We wind up getting one of these red bars down under the 0 line. All right, so we failed. Good chance we're coming down to the 0 line. So based on that, we might even get a little bit more than a 5% correction, maybe even a 12% correction. We'll see, okay? So see, every time we miss, we get the red one. We miss the 9, we get the red one. We miss the 9, we get the red one. We miss the 9, get the red one. Okay, we haven't had a red one in a while. Oh, missed the 9 right here, get the red one. Okay, so we just missed. Yep, I think we're going to get the red one over here somewhere. All right, we'll see what happens. So 10% pullback, 11%, take us down to 600. That's the big fat whole round number. There's a possibility that we head back to 600, test the 600 area, and then maybe meander our way back for the Black Friday, Christmas rally, holiday rally. We'll see what happens. Okay, the 917 rate cut rally just got shredded, all right, on that, okay? I mean, we cut through that, and it just shredded the rate cut rally, so... maybe they give us another rate cut. We'll see what happens. But there's the BZO. I'm going to take that off because we already just took out the rate cut. All right. On the weekly chart, let's take a look at the weekly. You can see the daily. Big candle down. On the daily chart, let's take a look at the weekly. All right. Weekly is still in an uptrend. All right, we haven't taken out this low. We have to take out this low on the weekly chart in order to get a weekly downtrend. Monthly chart, we have to take out this low. All right, we're far from it right now. Okay, so there's SPY. Weekly and monthly. Daily time frame, all right, is made a lower low. So we're in a downtrend right there. See the valley low, we made a lower low. All right, let's take a look at, I think we made a new all-time high today. I'm not for sure. Let me see what the high is here. 673.94. The high here is 673.95. So we made a higher high. All right, we definitely made a lower low. Okay, so we made a higher high today. So we made a new all-time high. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ made a new all-time high. Also took out 30 days of trading. QQQ did not make a lower low. Okay, QQQ is fighting it off. They're still in an uptrend, QQQ. The low here is... Well, they actually don't make it through the 17, but let's see what we got. The low is 588.50. The low here is 589.05. So no lower low yet. Okay, so there's QQQ, new all-time high for QQQ. So we may get a bounce within a few days here. We'll see what happens. There's QQQ, new all-time high, same as SBY. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU got an outside day, no new all-time high, higher low, lower high, closing under bearish cross, breaking the consolidation right here, and closing underneath it. So FNGU, probably look for a bearish MMRP to develop underneath this base. You can see we were moving up, we reversed, we broke through support. That would be the major support right there. Look for price to consolidate, test this area, and then look for some more candles to the downside. FNGU. Okay, look for a bearish MMRP on the daily chart. All right, see the reversal. Price was going up. We reversed, broke support. Now look for a pause, and then see price put in 3 advancement candles or 4 to the downside over here. FNGU. We'll see if it happens. All right, but watch that for. We certainly didn't get the birthday trade today. So maybe we get the bearish MMRP next week. Okay, so there's FNGU on the daily chart. Again, outside day, higher high, lower low, closing underneath bearish cross. Under the 17 EMA, FNGU is now in a downtrend. There's a low, we made a lower low. QQQ is not in a downtrend. IWM. And on IWM, the low here is 237.55. The low here is 237.56. All right, so IWM not in a downtrend yet. Okay, bulls held it off by 1 penny. Okay, so there's IWM on the daily chart. Lower high, lower low. Not in a downtrend yet. Still in an uptrend by 1 penny. All right. I'm sure they'll meander down there in the evening hours, but there's IWM. Still bullish up here. Still in an uptrend. It's up in quadrant 4 up there. Okay. They're all still up in quadrant 4. So they're all still bullish at this time. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow definitely in a downtrend. See the spike right there through the 17, made a lower low. So Diamond Dow on the daily chart is in a downtrend, but bullish up here in quadrant 4, just not moving up right now. So there's Diamond Dow. We did FNGU, we did QQQ, we did SPY. Let's take a look at our technicals. T2101, you can see on the 15-minute chart. Okay. Here's the double bottom, one here, and we're having a pullback to pick up some spinach, maybe some mustard, all right? So there's T2101 pulling back. Reversal right out of the reversal zone, okay? T2122 in the oversold zone all day, okay? Went up to the sell zone, the seller's chop zone, got thrown out. So we camped out in the oversold zone all day, just selling all day on T21.22, T21.23. Continuation of the selling, further underneath the 200 SMA, still in a downtrend on the 15-minute chart. Okay, so 15 minutes still in a downtrend, lower high, lower lows. 3-bar chart. T21.23. We made contact with the rising 200. 3-bar chart. Here's a low. We made a lower low. That's in a downtrend. I do like that it's still up there in quadrant 4, and it looks like it could not get underneath the rising 200. So maybe we're in for a bounce tomorrow. I don't know. I'm getting mixed signals here. QQQ could make a lower low. All right. FNGU and SPY did. Diamond Dow is in a downtrend, so we'll see what happens here. T21.23, right in the middle here of quadrant 4, that's still bullish, but currently in a downtrend. It's bullish, but not moving up. All right, it's in a downtrend, moving down. There's T21.23, 3-bar chart. FNGU, all right, selling. Looks like right after the announcement. Okay, right there. A little bit of selling. And then into the noon hour, right here. We lost the 200 SMA right there. See that? We went up and we erased everything that we just did yesterday. That was, look at this. This is red. Erase is green. And then things just H pattern rollover right here. So a little bit of buying, and then a whole lot of selling. So that's in a downtrend. And of course, we're underneath the 200 SMA again. All right, let's take a look at gold and silver. All right, let's take a look at GLD. All right, GLD putting in the inside day, still bullish, still up at the top of quadrant 4, still bullish, still in an uptrend. Silver. Silver puts in a, I'm going to call it an inside day as well. Closing over the trap, over the rising 17, top of quadrant 4. It's still bullish, still in an uptrend. SLV. Let's take a look at USO. That's going to be neutral and in a downtrend. Okay, not in the upper third, not in the lower third, just neutral and in a downtrend right there, USO. UNG. UNG still in an uptrend, but not moving up. Okay, if they take out this low, they'll be in a downtrend. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17. That's in an uptrend that's not moving up. Again, down here at the bottom of quadrant 1, that's bearish and in an uptrend that's not moving up. All right, so there we go. All right, any questions before we wrap it up for the day? Oh, how I made money today. Okay, so let's take a peek at that. All right. 106 on some Intel calls. I bought those a few days ago, and I took profit on those this morning. Okay, tried to take profit on all of them. Couldn't get filled for this one up here at 350. All right, on 10-minute chart right there. You can see I got filled here. Then things started to fall apart. All right, right here, right about 11 o'clock, things started falling apart. Bought some MU calls right here. Tried to sell them off right here, but just not fast enough. Then things started to fall apart right there, right after 11. Okay, so I had an MU call right there. So I got one of those left. Let's see what else we got. Got some 7 days till oh yeah, I'm shopping for these. I'm bidding for. No, I was looking at these. Got some 640 puts, 28 days. I was shopping for those. 7 days till expiration, 640 puts. Made 361. Again, I got a downtrend, 10-minute downtrend. So I bought the dip and sold into weakness. See the weakness, price comes down. So as this comes down, the option value goes up. So I sold into weakness right there. 655 puts right there. 0 days till expiration. Bought the lows, sold the highs, bought the lows, sold the highs, bought the lows, sold the highs, bought the lows, and sold the highs on those. Lost 16K on these. This was a debit spread. And by the time I closed it out, I turned around and bought them to go long on some puts. And you can see I loaded up on these right here for about 25 cents. Well, actually right here. 16 cents, 25 cents. Between the 16 centers and the 33 centers, they wound up being 25 cents. And I wound up selling a lot of these for 100%. Or maybe even a 200%. There was even one that sold for $1.25, $1 over $1. That sold for 300%. So anywhere from 100% profit, all right, or gains to 200, all the way up to 300. Okay, so on those puts that I brought there into this final dip into the closing hour. All right, so that was these. I had the cover on these. I thought price would probably stop at 655. I didn't want to take any chances, so I shut down my spread and went after just these alone by themselves. All right, made 1,700 on some more puts. These are 0 DTE 644 puts. Again, bought the dip, sold a rally up out of there. 1,700 on those. 3,300 on the 650 puts. Bought the dip, sold the highs right there. Captured some profits there. On some 614 calls, okay, bought the dip, sold the highs right here out of the gate. Bought the dip, sold the rallies, bought the dip, sold the recovery, and then you can see price starts breaking down. I'm buying the dip and looking for the bounce to occur. And from there, I just bail on it. I say, forget it. It's not working. We've got the red candle already broke support. So I just said, forget it. And I closed it out to make 34K on those. 2,400 on some 613 calls. Again, bought the dip, and sold into the bounce right there. 8K on some 678 0 DTEs. Again, bought the dip down here. I was underwater on those, so I had to buy about 6,000 or 3,000 of these down here for a penny and sold them for 3 cents. All right, so I was able to capture 8,000 on those. Had to it was underwater, so I had to triple down on it right here and bail on it right there for 3 cents. Went all the way to 10 cents. I don't know how that got happened. Oh, that was during the Trump speech. Wow, that would have been nice to catch that, but I didn't get that. All right, so that's it for me. All right, how I made my money this morning and this afternoon. Meltdown. What do I like? 10-minute downtrend under VWAP. What did we have? 10-minute downtrend under VWAP right here. 10-minute downtrend under VWAP. Just traded the 10-minute downtrend under VWAP. Bought a lot of puts. As long as I had the puts out there, I would fan out. I would fan out a grid of sell orders up above it. All right, and then I would put a grid of buy orders underneath it. I just look for my 10-minute trend. Is my 10-minute trend still active? Yes. Then I continue to fan out sell orders up top and buy orders underneath. That's it, over and over. Do the same thing over and over throughout this whole 10-minute downtrend. I don't think it will be this pretty on Monday. I hope it is, though. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's it for me. I'll see you all on Monday. All right, hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me. And we'll see you on Monday. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Alan. Hope you guys made some money today. I know that that drop kind of caught a lot of people off guard. Thanks, Scott. Thank you.